So let's review a chess game. This game is from a dear streamer friend called Cockcrash25, 24, 25, something like that. Check him out on Twitch, why not? And that was a game from a tournament that he played, and I really thought it was interesting, so I wanted to show it to you guys. It was a simple game. We have here the not protagonist of the story, and here our dear friend. So who's gonna win this game? Is it gonna be a draw? Is it gonna be a win? We don't know. Let's check it out. So this game is a simple e4 and a Caro-Kann, which I really like because as a Caro-Kann player, like, you gotta like Caro-Kann. So this is just a simple exchange with a bishop out. So here are many lines. Like, this is usually a not so common line. The most common is the Panov, where like you play like a Queen's Gambit setup, like you trade this pawn for this pawn. It's pretty interesting. So this is a line you gotta learn when you play Caro-Kann. But this is pretty quiet. It's not that forcing, but gives a lot of like bit London vibes, like you trying to build a cage. Maybe here, maybe here, like many ideas. So our dear friend played knight of c6, attacking the pawn, which, I mean, there are ways where this could lead to some dangerous positions. Not right now, because that bishop is a bit awkwardly placed. So he did just simply decide to defend the pawn. We're going for a simple development, develop, and bishop pin. So this is pretty common because this knight is annoying. That's it. So this is just simple development. No one's like trying to force the issue here. Bishop takes is not the best idea, but you want to lose this bishop more or less because you're going to build on the light squares. Maybe here, this pawn to here. That's why the bishop is pinning the knight. So you just develop a queen, and this is a bit uncommon move, I would say. Like, you bring your queen out before you develop this bishop, but you're punishing the bishop development right now because you were defending that pawn. With that move, you are not anymore. So, what should I say? That was a simple queen move, and the idea is pretty simple. Takes. You have the pressure on this file, which could be useful. This to kick out the knight, and this knight is usually a target in Caro-Kann before you manage to castle. So our friend doesn't do it. The best move is to take the knight right now because, for example, like maybe you can take first this and damage your pawns. He gotta damage his pawns too. So this is a bit unfortunate for white, but he has some attacking chances, and those bishops are dangerous. What we doing it's simple here. We are playing knight back to defend the queen, and maybe like usually you relied on a c5 push, but now you can't do this anymore. So you rely on this and this, or this and this. Common ideas. And this is an interesting decision to open the file, but you know those double pawns could come in handy for the white position. So knight out because, like, just as I said, you don't want to damage your pawn structure. Now we're going for that bishop setup. The problem with that bishop setup is just now that, like, white is just faster in the development. That pawn is a weak, and usually you want to like focus maybe on that side, maybe with this pawn even. Is like my idea. I'm not that sure, but this could come an idea. And as you see, the engine does like this more to maybe fight on that queen side, because when you decide to play for the center, you really do not rely anymore on the queen side play, but on the center play, which is, computer says it's dumb, but it's fine from a player perspective. Simple h4. This is just doable, but you don't want this. The engine says it's fine. You just don't want to handle with this. Could be dangerous, but that's how the Caro-Kann usually is. So he's taking the knight, which is okay, let's call it like that, but now you even gave up a bishop, and the knight wasn't doing much. Like, he didn't attack like nearly anything. Maybe this in future, but that's it. So I wouldn't like. I think dropping the bishop back was a bit better, but it's fine still. But it's like all the small inaccuracies which followed through this game to make the valuation one. But we're just gonna continue castle, and trying to solidify. Rook here, defending that pawn. Maybe even trying to push for this idea. H4, maybe a bit dumb move to just maybe really rely on this push, even though this weakens this pawn, which we could analyze, but we're gonna come through this pawn. So Karkash himself thought he was scared of this, which I think is pretty dumb. Because you usually want to let him take, and this move is a bit slow. This is also ID, so I don't know why he was scared of this, but maybe he calculated some things. So he played Rook A5, which is an inaccuracy, again, just amplifying the advantage, because now White could like hammer forward, maybe in future this, maybe stack the rooks, because this is defended. You could attack this, but like this idea would come in handy even if you if this bishop wouldn't be there, and so on. So we are gonna continue with A4, which is just like, I don't know what's going on in those guys. Like you can't play A3 and then A4. Like if you want to play it, just play it instantly. Maybe he wanted to like try to replicate this position. I don't know. But we could. I'm just so sad about this. I know, like, this is the main idea, which doesn't work right now. But now playing E6 just feels like a waste of time. For me personally. So bishop here, knight rerouting, because now here, because you don't want to push for E5 anymore. It's not the boy's idea. Rook comes there, rook defends the knight, knight back. A knight back is maybe plant the knight into the center would be better, because like you have this initiative and those pawns are gonna be stuck like this. Because if you trade everything down, it may be a draw, but like White has the advantage clearly. So we're just gonna drop back, maybe to play for the queen side, because this rook is awkwardly placed. But this is gonna be fixed right now. So maybe now White's going for the queen side. I think they'll maybe center play would be better, or an attack here, because this looks a bit vulnerable. We have like an attack on all sides, but you just continue blocking the pawn, being scared of b4. To be honest, you gotta calculate that stuff, but Karkash calculated some stuff in this position. Why he didn't go for this, I don't know. Engine doesn't like it that much, but now you could just drop back, and those are some threats if some positions occur, because you have the pressure of this bishop. You can like maybe in future maybe like do something against this pawn. Why g4 wasn't the best decision, but sometimes you play stuff and you don't realize it. Punishing the bishop drops back. So personally, I would, like in a blitz game, maybe I would have played that move, because you still have like a lot of control on this diagonal, where if you drop back on this diagonal, which is preferred by the engine, you don't have that much control. But the most important diagonal here is this one, because those pieces are weak. So you drop back, and bishop h6 is a good counterpunch to punish now the position of black. If you play this, there is knight a7, which I did not see, but this is a pretty solid move to just like bishop drops back like to some field like this one, and now you can take this pawn. In the game it was pretty in the game it was pretty similar. He did the rook trade, which like even gave up this bishop, which made this problem just even worse. Maybe I would have actually preferred maybe stacking up, maybe, but this is just winning of a simple pawn. This is just a dumb move because you're helping black. Even though this is an inaccuracy because of g4, which is juicy to say at least. Knight f3, and now there is rook takes here to maybe just play for here advancement. And this pawn, like, there are many weaknesses or many sides where white can try to play for the equality. So that was an idea, but this didn't happen. We just had pawn takes and pawn takes, which now reveals to a big blunder, because in that move, in position, the only winning move, Car Crash found it, was rook takes a5. A simple back rank trick to just punish the back rank. And this is just clean 2 pawns up, and you just can't lose this. Foreshadowing though, here I think this rook is pretty active, so I don't know why just this maybe oh, that was a bishop check. So I don't know the intricacies of this position, but like g5 is like the winning move, I guess. Karkash just wanted to trade the rooks, which I understand. Trading one rook in an endgame is not the worst idea if you're playing a rook endgame. But now a couple of bad moves are starting to happen because this rook is attacked, and like it's hard to decide where I should go. Maybe here, slight evaluation drop. Like, you want to go here, but this rook is defending it obviously. So it's hard to make a decision here while your knight is still on the edge of the board. So defending that pawn is still fine. The rook is trying to infiltrate, and this was a big blunder because of first of all, okay, this is also a solid move because it forces this. Then bishop e5, and like now you have this rook coming here, which is dangerous. For example, g5, maybe even h5. You can like just fire on that side, just having small slight attack, or by the engine preferred h4 instantly. So this is still slightly winning for black, I would say, but like escaping the checks and all. But now this is a interesting move because this pawn is weak, where you have that problem as white, but as black you don't have a clear way forward. Like if you want to try to advance your king, okay, next to this fork, by the way, like this move doesn't help you with anything, and this is a problem right now. So Karkash decided to do this, which I play myself personally, which I think is just like, why do you allow this? Like, okay, I know you have one pawn, but like doubled isolated pawns, one isolated pawn, one isolated pawn, one isolated pawn, like it's just horrible, even though your king is more or less active. But like, you don't want to do this, which threw his advantage from +3 to even, like nearly even. HB4 is like b5 is also a big like problem. Maybe you wanted to play rook check down, maybe punish those pawns, maybe advance your king right now, because this pawn couldn't be pushed if attacked. Like, this is a possibility, and this didn't happen. He just blundered that pawn. He didn't even go for a rook here, which, okay, I guess you don't want to lose that right pawn of yours, but it's just a draw right now, which is kind of sad because Cockroach was playing better in this game, I would say, except of the opening, which white really did play well. But now we see that this is just a draw. H4, like there's nothing to be pushed. If white tries to push this, I mean, wait, let's just waste a move. If white ever tries to push, let's just do a random, not even a random move, but if white ever tries to push this and go for this is winning. So this is a huge threat too, which you like just can't ignore. That's why your rook must stay there. And if you try to play for this move, en passant is juicy enough, but like even if you have this simplification, 2 passed pawns, you don't want to deal with this. So they agreed to a draw right here, which I thought was quite interesting. Because I think maybe this could have been dangerous. You know, this is a move which could happen, but now this, and now this is actually not possible. This is possible, and you could play for an advantage here. But just like white would just probably repeat that and go to a draw. I think this game was pretty interesting. Well-fought battle in the opening. Cockroach did had a slight not advantage because this plan just doesn't work like at all. Maybe this earlier would have been maybe an idea to like still push for that side, for example here, and like maybe push for that side. But that's is chess, and it ended in a beautiful draw, which I gotta appreciate. Brilliant move was juicy, but you gotta convert it too. Hope you all liked it. Trying to make the best out of it. And see you.